I can feel it coming, we can never go back.
From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I can feel it coming, we can never go back. I can feel it coming, we can never go back. I can feel it coming, we can never go back. I can feel it, never go back. I can feel it.
It's the Wake Up Friday, November 18th, 2016, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Video Blocks. Video Blocks is an affordable, subscription-based stock media site that gives you unlimited access to premium stock footage, like video footage. They also have a sister site, Audio Blocks, that offers unlimited access to premium stock audio sounds.
That's cool.
Yeah, you know what's cool about the service? This service is like literally anyone can like produce stuff at the quality of a real like big agency because they have a whole catalog of professional footage and audio.
It's disruptive. Video Blocks allows unlimited daily downloads from a library of 115,000 plus royalty-free video clips, After Effects templates, motion backgrounds, and more. Audio Blocks' audio library has 130,000 plus clips of music tracks, sound effects, and loops. On average, subscribers pay less than $1 per download over the course of a year. Video Blocks is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a year's subscription to both Video Blocks and Audio Blocks for only $149 total. That's $100 off the usual price tag for our listeners only. It's an incredible discounted deal to get both stock and video audio files for any project you may be working on or have planned in the future.
That's really actually a pretty neat idea.
Pretty great, right?
Yeah.
It's like stock
Yeah, I
photos,
mean, if you're
but
like a media person at a church, or like I said, you just want to do some freelance stuff and do ads or agency type of stuff, this is a huge value for what
or
they're
you just need
offering.
some you need good aerial footage of something just for a
Some
personal
mountains.
project.
It's way
Maybe a lake.
cheaper than
Some-
purchasing an aerial drone for yourself.
some
trust
slow
me on that.
motion,
Yeah.
some nature shot.
Especially if you crash the drone the first time out and never see the drone or the camera or the footage again. Just go with Video Blocks. Just trust me on this one.
You can get your year subscription today for only $149 at videoblocks.com/relevant. That's Video Blocks, videoblocks.com/relevant. Like I said, I'm your host, Cameron. Here with me in our Orlando studios, Eddie Big Cat Koffolds.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
This is
That'll be happening while this show is out.
yeah. God bless you.
Wait,
This is a little foreshadowing. I'm bringing a special Thanksgiving themed slice
Is
today
it
for everyone.
right? Thanksgiving, because our next podcast we come
Next
out the
week.
day
the
after
day
Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. It's our special Black Friday edition that we put out very, very early in the morning for the people in line at Best
Oh,
Buy.
I love this special edition.
Yeah. We record in the middle of the night. Don't you remember?
Midnight. We record at midnight in a Walmart parking lot. It's pretty
We
special.
do a remote. We have a remote truck. We go live.
We're usually in a Walmart parking lot. This one's just at midnight.
We're surrounded by discounted flat screen TVs, and we record all night. Just do this thing,
Okay, over there, joining us for the whole show in studio today, Chelsea Steele.
Good morning, everybody.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello.
And on the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
So you wake up this morning, Chandler, and you think to yourself, I'm going to get dressed. And what do you look through your closet, and does the red flannel come first?
No, I looked at my dryer, and that was the first thing I
Okay.
saw.
But the question I think he's going to build to
Yeah.
is the black mugger's scully on your head. Were you
It's a whole new look for you today.
Were you robbing something last night and just ran
It's
late?
more fall,
It's a little more fall looking.
in the spirit of Thanksgiving. next week.
The two questions I had when I saw Chandler this morning is either he has a second job as a paper towel guy.
Oh, that's it. It's the paper towel guy.
It's the brawny guy.
No. It's the Brawny guy's evil twin because he has the Scully. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the second option?
Freelance lumberjacking.
Yeah.
Chandler, here's the thing, man. I actually have that exact shirt. I think I know where you bought it. I'm pretty sure it's the one that I have, and I've worn it a couple times, and I no longer wear it because I get nothing but comments about my lumberjack attire the whole time. I've never been as bold to wear a black Steve Zissou hat with it, though.
Yeah. I got to figure out, I think I want to get into some sort of like winter uniform, and I'm thinking about flannels every day because they're perfect. Roll up the sleeves when it gets a little warm during the day, roll down the sleeves for,
Last
at night.
week, the day after the election, I ended up wearing a red flannel. because I'm going to clean up this mess. I look like the brawny guy.
Yeah.
I was wearing blue jeans and a red flannel. I didn't have the Scully.
I think I got it.
Let me ask you this, Cameron. Did you have the sleeves rolled up like you were here to get to work in America?
Absolutely. I had like a sledgehammer over my shoulder, and I was ready to go.
I always roll my sleeves up because I have my little arm tattoo, and I like people to know, like, hey, that guy, he's not what you think.
Yeah, he's like
He has a
business in the
past.
front, party in the back, sort of a thing.
I don't know about that, but I understand.
But you look
I know what you
conservative,
mean.
and then like, oh wait, I see a little tattoo peeking out.
I get it, and I'm already ready for my next pair of glasses. I got a whole
I
new
didn't say your next tattoo.
2017. Oh, I know my next tattoo as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna get a new tattoo and new glasses in 2017?
Can I
Whole new me.
Can I guess what your tattoo is?
I've told you on this show before, and then I got embarrassed.
It's a red flannel shirt.
It is
a tattoo?
but it's a full body one red flannel shirt, so that even in the
Almost-
summer when I'm wearing a bathing suit, I still have my red flannel on.
So it's like
It's
body
an incredibly
Modest
hairy
is
red
hottest.
flannel shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Say what you will about Chandler's flannel shirt. I posted a picture of him on the Insta stories that I do, and I put a wreath of hearts around his face, and I wrote, "He's single, ladies." And one girl DM'd us back with a bunch of eyes and a bunch of
Hey.
hearts and said,
Who was it?
Yay!
Can you say her name?
No.
way. If
Yeah.
that's how you meet somebody,
You're welcome.
mom and dad are gonna thank me forever.
I actually got to say though, like if that's not how you meet somebody, we're out of options.
no, he
There
could
always
always
be more people exposed to this guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You'll never, unless you all of a sudden are just on like a huge network TV show.
Yeah.
Like at this point, we're doing all we can. Your mom
Hey,
asked us to
Chandler,
have
let
you
me
on the
just say
show.
this right now.
Yeah,
the
go
ball's
ahead.
in your court, dude.
we have eyeballs and hearts ready to
Yeah.
go right
Yeah,
there.
Chalissa was a mess.
Yeah.
We gave everybody your phone
Not
number.
her. Not the.
No,
Not,
she's
yeah.
fantastic.
No, but you're saying the situation was a
Chalissa
mess.
Gate was
So
a mess.
you know what we found out for listeners who don't know what we're talking about. There was a fine young lady who was here on staff 6 months ago.
You mean like a upstanding young lady?
a fine human being?
You know, you're saying a fine relational prospect for Chandler.
Yeah.
She was a nice
delightful
lady,
person.
and we found out on the show 6
Right.
months ago that a date had happened
Hello.
between our illustrious producer
Oh,
and said young lady, and it became a thing.
Ain't it?
Now, I will give an update to that story to the listeners
They have
who were
blocked each other.
in that with us.
Yeah.
We found out after the fact that Chalissa, as we named the couple,
Yeah.
was already over by the time the
true.
podcast had happened.
That is
Oh, yeah.
100% true.
So you guys were just
no.
smiling and nodding and waiting for it to be
was-
over, but it had
Already ended.
already ended.
It had already been fully realized and destroyed.
That was why I was so uncomfortable the whole time.
yeah.
Now, one thing I haven't
You could have
asked
just texted me during the show and been like, "Hey, it already didn't work out," and I would have just pivoted to manatees
If I
or
had
something.
said that, I felt like you probably would have
would've gotten worse.
even worse.
No.
Solid point. That's actually, I totally
You're
would have.
not wrong.
That's why I just played along and did the Cheez-It thing, and
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chelsea's sitting over
That was
there
sad.
with eyeballs and hearts ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
So let me get this straight. And you're like, if you had like a Christian Mingle profile,
yeah.
no, he would be on farmersonly.com today.
Good one. Good one. That was a nice
so
joke.
based on is like say today was your profile picture, Chandler, and your interest would be like falling trees. Right.
Not
It
the
would,
woods,
it would be,
falling trees.
absorbent materials,
Yeah.
Bandits.
Banditry.
Banditry.
banditry. Because that makes it sound. It's not like he's doing armed robberies here. He's like sneaking into like bank vaults in the middle of the night in that game.
like tiptoeing over laser beams and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. He's going Catherine Zeta-Jones to steal like a diamond for his date, maybe.
It's a heist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show, Chelsea. This is
Thank
what the
you.
show is like. Once you're past
This is the heart of it.
Once you're past your honeymoon period of like 1 or 2 shows to get acclimated, this is
You're just going
this
to
is
start
where
making.
we settle in.
Well, Eddie has already made comments on my outfits in the past, i.e., the infamous camo shirt. So
that's right.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
feel
right.
like I've been well
The
introduced.
floating head day.
Yes.
Of course, I come from a huge place of insecurity because when I try to change up my outfit, it's still just a pair of jeans and a button-down shirt. Like,
But it's a jazzy button down.
even when I'm trying to get fancy,
Like a
like
pearl
my
snap.
No, it'll be like a light pink jazzy button down. Or
yeah,
something.
but it's always going to be that. And so when people take fashion risks, I lash out because of my own pain.
Eddie, can I ask you something? What's the boldest thing you've worn in the last month?
The boldest thing I've worn.
that leopard bodysuit that you
Yeah, I mean,
to the
other than
movies
that-
the other night.
Debatable.
The boldest thing I've worn. I mean, I can't even fathom what that would be. I mean,
Do you own like a cool leather jacket or something?
No, we talked about that. I didn't want to look like Tony Soprano.
No. Here, Eddie, I got it. Hey, dude, I got it. I think I may have mentioned this before, and I'm going to bring it back up because I think you need like a signature piece, like something that's all your own. That like when people see that item, they know it's pure Eddie, and that is a big leather duster.
Yeah, we
Like a floor length leather Morpheus.
You do
duster.
need a distinguishing apparel item because the other night I was at the Magic game with John David, who heads up our creative here.
Yeah.
And a podcast listener was there and reached out via Instagram, said, "Hey, we're at the game. We'd love to say hi." And so they came over and
to you and Eddie.
And they walk up and they go, "Cameron, Eddie." Yeah. So you got to distinguish yourself because you and JD are a little too close right now.
I got to tell you though, if I had to have anybody representing me in the world, I'd pick JD.
Yeah.
He's great. Like I'm happy to just stay alone in my house and let JD do this.
Hey,
Right, so I guess my distinguishing thing is JD.
So you have your clone or your surrogate.
He'll do a great
PR
job.
for you.
He was on the show for a while. He's really kind. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's the best.
So yeah, that's my
That's
thing.
why I take him to Magic games.
That's my thing. JD. JD's the new me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even when you invite me to a Magic game, JD's still going to show up. When I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. It'll be JD. I'll totally be at your.
Eddie, can I give you two more suggestions? Because I feel like a duster in Florida, I mean, it probably
hot.
isn't the most practical.
Too
Yeah,
hot,
not
too
that
hot, too
functional.
hot.
But I have two that are cheaper because to get yourself quality duster, trust me on this one, you're looking low four figures. Okay, the kind I'm envisioning.
Well, the kind that's like Colorado worthy. I mean, you're right in the range, you know.
that you could actually do ranching.
Yeah,
in,
right.
You know that it like if you didn't have a sleeping bag, you could just roll under a cactus and
you're
be
not
totally
going to
good
get
for
it
the night.
at Kohl's. You're not going to get it at Wilson's Leather Goods. You're going to go and get a real like cowboy duster.
I'll tell you, I think I know what my thing is, but Jesse, you finish and then I'll tell you what I think.
Okay, so here are three options that I feel like are all viable.
Before you do
okay?
this is the moment when new listeners are like, "What is this show about?"
It's about this.
Okay.
Just be present in the moment and don't
Okay,
try to
I'll be
overthink
quick
it.
with these.
Okay.
Bandana of any flag in the world. Like, obviously, you'd probably go American.
Like
but
Prison
I'm not
Mike.
gonna-
Like Prison Mike. I could see that.
I go Ethiopia.
But like, if you were like Prison Mike, where you're like business attire with then a bandana.
All right. There's no
Yeah,
bad
but you
idea.
can't switch up the flag. Like, once you lock in
You
on
have
the
to commit
flag,
to it.
you're all about that Ethiopian bandana.
Oh yeah,
okay?
that's easy.
No bad ideas. No bad ideas.
Okay, the other one, this one is some sort of neckerchief or an ascot. Because it has an air of class, is what
I
you bring to
hate
the show.
both of those words
Yeah.
so much.
A neckerchief or an ascot. The third,
But like, hold on.
the third is a little dangerous.
Hold on. Let's talk about this practical application. He could still wear the jeans and the button down.
Right.
You just class it up with a little ascot poking out the top.
A little
Like, so it's
ascot.
casual. It dresses up a casual day.
I gotta say, I can't do ascot because of Eric Metaxas. He already kind of owns in his corner that market,
Yeah.
and I think
That's a lane
just
of one.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
Neckerchief I could get into. I wore one for many years, of course, with my Boy Scout uniform. So it's not an unfamiliar.
Oh, that's a neckerchief. So it's like a bandana that you tie around your
Right.
neck.
Okay, the third option, and this one is gonna be a little edgy. Okay, this one because
I
you're
get it.
edgy, Eddie, and this one is definitely the
Not
most
a
memorable
stitch
because
of pants.
people might think you just wore
No
an
pants.
ascot that night. Or they might
like
have
Winnie
just
the
thought that
Pooh
for
style?
some.
Yeah, just a long button-down shirt from the big and tall that's like goes a little long, and then
Just a little.
I've seen it, but you got to wear the yoga leggings underneath it, like the ladies.
Oh yeah, those would be called. If you have a shirt like that, I actually heard that's called a tunic.
Oh.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. Tunic
Yeah.
or muumuu.
Yeah, girls are wearing a long shirt called a tunic.
Yeah.
and then
Well, in the Middle East, they wear them as well.
yeah,
But the men would still wear pants under their tunic.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. But you would go.
I would
you would
not.
go Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I would not.
Eddie, this is the
Winnie the
exact
Pooh.
opposite direction than Winnie the Pooh or Daniel Tiger.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
or Daffy Duck or other pantless cartoons.
Pretty much
Famous-
every cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to send a bold message, and that message is I'm a guy with an eye patch.
Yeah. I like that idea.
People would not mistake JD for you because JD doesn't wear an eye patch. That's
No.
something you can see a mile away.
No,
Totally.
but it's really interesting how JD and I get mistaken for each other, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be associated with him.
Yeah,
He's a good
that's
man.
good. Yeah.
I actually will tell you, Black Thought on from The Roots was wearing a cool hat and a picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, look at me. You think I got a pretty big head? You think I could get away with that?
Yeah.
And he replied, and he's like, actually, with a head and body your size, you could totally wear this hat.
Hold on. So Black Thought wrote me back.
That's incredible.
It was like my number one
Tariq?
favorite.
He wrote you back?
Yeah, and he took a look at my profile picture and said, actually, I think you could totally wear this with your head size and body size. I got fashion advice from one of the most fashionable people I've ever seen.
I feel like you have to do it now.
Yeah.
Right. His hat, though, that hat that he was wearing, though, was not far off from my mortgage payment, though.
Oh, okay.
At some point, I have to figure out the Walmart version of his hat.
But see, a quality hat,
Right, you
that's
gotta
the
get it
difference.
fitted.
I mean, you can't do a cheap hat and it look right.
Yeah, I saved the tweet somewhere, and it's
But- And then if anybody ever asks you, like, oh, nice hat selection, you'd be like, yeah, Black Thought.
But that's
told
the
me I
thing.
should.
If he tells me I can wear this, and I got that hat, it would be like, I don't even care what anybody says.
That's true. I mean, that's the thing about Cohen and his glasses. Once Pharrell told him like he loved his glasses, Cohen hasn't taken them off.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, he's like he will die in these glasses one day.
Yeah, I hope
The coolest man in the world, validated.
I hope someday to have a job though where I just wear the same thing every day.
You're like a police officer.
Priest, mechanic, police officer, something where I'm walking
Any
out.
sort of
Scuba
nurse.
diver. So I wanted to bring this up, and I guess now's the only time, and it's sort of a transition with the Roots, because like a week and a half ago, David Blaine stopped by the Tonight Show and literally blew the minds of the Roots promoting his TV special, which aired this past week on ABC. Did you guys watch the David Blaine special?
I did. And DVR'd it.
I have not gotten to see it yet, but I've seen everything he's ever done
You
except
can
for that.
come over and watch it. We can have a little David Blaine party.
I will be there tonight.
I'll watch it again.
It'll be JD, but yeah.
I have two observations that I wanted to throw out there. One is just, it's come to the point where he's literally figured out how to do any conceivable trick with a deck of cards. Now he's gotten to the point where he's regurgitating live animals. Like, his magic is such next level. There is nothing left to do with coins or cards. Like, it has come to the point where live animals are appearing in his body. The second point is David Blaine gets invited to some really, really cool parties.
Yeah.
Seriously, Drake was there.
I always wonder how that works.
That room, it was like
Dave Chappelle.
That was backstage at a show or something because it was Chappelle and Drake and it was
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph
Steph Curry was there.
Yeah.
That
Jimmy
had to have
Butler.
been. That was probably like backstage at like a Kanye Madison Square Garden thing or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
Just
very
a casual
cool.
invite.
Can I
It
say
looked like it was in a
something?
hallway.
I got to say something about it though. All the tricks that he had done were from I had seen them on his last show.
Really?
On the old special, I've seen him he did his whole last special was about like he traveled to the middle of Africa and found this guy that could swallow water. And it's like, I knew when he was saying, I knew he was going to spit up a frog.
Yeah.
It wasn't a new thing. I'm not saying it's not incredibly impressive. I was just surprised because usually all of his new stuff is like, I can't even believe a person could ever figure this out. And he was just
he
like doing it again.
escalates it.
Right.
On the special, he escalates it, like what he did on Fallon.
Right.
He does that, but he escalates it.
Okay, Jesse, does that hurt your feelings? Because I know you're pretty sensitive about David Blaine.
No. I mean, I hear your criticism, and I ask you this: did he do it with his lips literally sewn shut
So
before?
shut.
If not,
That's
then,
what I'm saying.
then
You watch him sew his mouth shut with Neil and
Oh,
Fred.
no, don't even say it
and then
anymore. Don't say anymore. That's
then
so gross.
several come out. It's crazy.
yeah.
But the card tricks
Okay,
were
that's a lot
mind-numbing
better.
to me. Like the
That's
like
crazy.
Him doing those card tricks over Skype. I like there's just things that like the thing. It's just mind-blowing. At the very end of the show, I'll say this. This is how much I love you, Jesse. At the very end of the show, he said he was the voiceover guy said, he was working on this thing, which he would then like this shooting himself in the face, catching a bullet in his mouth, like live, no trick, like catching a bullet in his mouth. And so the special was leading up to this reveal. And it said he's going to not just do it this one time. He's going to take this trick on an upcoming world tour. I get my laptop out. David Blaine World Tour. Look for tickets because Jesse and I are going to fly there and
of
go
course
see
you
it.
are.
Oh,
Yeah.
heck yes, we are.
Yeah.
Is he stopping
And
through
I'm
Orlando?
going to be prayed up. I'm going to be prayed up, and I'm going to know what's happening.
Break it up.
I need a volunteer. The gentleman with the eye patch and the ascot. Come to the stage and shoot me in the face, and I'll catch the bullet.
Oh, gosh.
And JD would walk up there.
yeah, we would go.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Young the Giant joins us. Aaron, our editorial director, is his favorite band. He said, I'm not kidding, he's Young the Giant is in the new issue of Relevant. The first draft of that article that I read said, Young the Giant is the most important band of 2016. That's what it said.
Oh.
We had a discussion about such a claim and the lack of journalistic, a distance that might have. So that phrase does not appear in the
magazine. It's an important band.
But but you can tell the sort of affection that certain members of our editorial team might have for this group.
Yeah.
They are coming up later.
Young the Giant smells like a pine forest, exactly like I had hoped. They were perfect. They were so sweet.
The article is basically Aaron's dream journal about Young the Giant. Is that what you're saying?
Right, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also coming up later, we talk to author and pastor and kind of Christian thought leader, Brian McLaren. He's on the show today. Fascinating conversation.
Yeah,
with
like
him.
a new book out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Brian's a little controversial in some streams. I was understating. He is a controversial, but the conversation we have is no matter what you, where you come from on the spectrum, this is a conversation worth listening to. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like it doesn't like make you totally have to agree with everything he says to see the validity of some of the points he's making. He is incapable of doing a boring interview, and this one was particularly fun.
The one of the things that I take great joy in is building bridges, kind of connecting streams that are disconnected, and I love when somebody gets typecast by others. We're all believers. We all interpret scripture different ways, and we all agree in certain things and disagree on certain things. And I think it's kind of foolish when one part of the church world will just completely write off somebody from a different part of the church world because they might have some questions or ideas that aren't in alignment with their own theology, right? Mm-hmm. I love building bridges of like, well, let's talk to so-and-so who you've written off about maybe ideas that you don't disagree with, and maybe challenge your thought, and you wouldn't have listened to them otherwise, but you might listen to them because we're talking to them. You know what I mean? I love doing that because it builds like little threads of unity, and like maybe we can agree to disagree on certain things, but we can agree that we actually do agree on this, and now I don't totally write you off anymore. And that's why we love talking to leaders from all the different streams. And
like when we found out together that Rob Bell in fact wasn't the devil,
right?
And he was actually a really thoughtful, kind guy.
He's actually using illusions for his tricks, and not demon powers, as I had presumed.
Yeah, he's actually doing magic, and it's some dark art stuff.
Moving the show along, it's time for our look back at what happened this week in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In Case You Missed It.
This week's In Case You Missed It is way better than last week's.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's just talk about some music and stuff.
Actually.
Speaking of the election, though, our first item.
I like that. I think
Our first item actually is, after the election happened on Tuesday and everybody was processing on Wednesday, and that's when we recorded the show.
Yeah, we're having like 2016 fatigue.
Thursday night, I'm home trying to detox. I'm watching some basketball Thursday night.
Yeah.
I'm watching the NBA on TNT.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they start the studio show off. Studio show is Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet Smith. And award-winning sports studio show. And I had heard over the years that Ernie was a believer. And he's just one of these high-integrity guys. And sure enough, I mean, this is the first show since the election. The guys wanted to talk about it. And so they all did. They shared their thoughts. And then Ernie Johnson, host of NBA on TNT, said this.
When this campaign season started, I felt like I'd been dealt a bad hand. I had these couple of choices. And there were trust issues with Hillary Clinton I couldn't get past. And there was this inflammatory rhetoric from Donald Trump, which to me was incomprehensible and indefensible. I couldn't vote for either one. For the first time in going to the polls for 42 years, I hit the write-in button. And I voted for John Kasich. And I left knowing that John Kasich wasn't going to win. But I left with a clear conscience because I hadn't settled. Number two, I'm hopeful. I watched the video today at CNN on what was going on at the White House with Donald Trump, President Obama. I was hopeful and I was encouraged that there will be a difference between the President Trump and the campaigning Trump. And I'm with these guys. We have to give them a chance. But here's the deal. I just hope that he's all in fixing the wounds in this country and the divides that separate this country. And I want to be part of that too. And for me to be part of it, I have to look in the mirror and I have to say, how am I going to be a better man? How am I going to be a better neighbor? How am I going to be a better citizen? How am I going to be a better American? How can I be a fountain and not a drain? And number three, I know you're not supposed to talk about politics and religion, but we're already talking about politics, and so I'm going to go the R direction too. I never know from one election to the next who's going to be in the Oval Office, but I always know who's on the throne. And I'm on this earth because God created me, and that's who I answer to. I'm a Christian. I follow this guy named Jesus. You might have heard of him. And the greatest commandment he gave me was to love others. And Scripture also tells us to pray for our leaders. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for Donald Trump. I'm going to pray for all those people right now who feel like they're on the outside looking in, who are afraid at this point. Pray for them too. In short, I'm praying for America. And I'm praying that one day we're going to look back and we're going to say, you know what? That Donald Trump presidency, that was all right. But I'm praying.
This week, a couple of people were texting me, like, wanting my thoughts. I was just sending them that clip.
Yeah.
They're like, honestly, like to see that powerful of a testimony. I mean, I was just like really proud of Ernie. He was really bold, talking about his faith and everything vulnerably.
I don't mean to be crass, but would it kill him to like drop a prayer for the Magic?
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a chance.
But not to derail, because I'm with you, Cameron. Like, I think it was articulate and a bold to say those things on that platform, because it's typically not the most political of platforms. But Eddie, speaking of bold wardrobe signature pieces, Ernie was rocking the bow tie.
Yeah.
And when you see a cool bow tie on cable at late night, you know it's Ernie Johnson. I mean, he figured it out.
Well, I think that's why that show, if you don't like basketball, you probably won't watch it. But even if you're like on the fence about basketball, it's an entertaining show, not just because of the big personalities of like Shaq and Charles Barkley and stuff, but I love it as a basketball guy because they really have great analysis and like they really help you understand the game at a deeper level. But then you bring in Ernie, who isn't like a drink the Kool-Aid sports guy. He's smart and he knows he knows it, but like he has this bigger life that he leads. And so like he elevates the show, and then the guys like make the show hilarious, and they have all the dynamics that it's about basketball, but it's so much more than that. And like, it's really like, I mean, they would be talking about fashion choices and stuff. I mean, it's basically the relevant podcast of sports shows is what I'm trying to say.
I could watch Charles Barkley do anything. Like that guy to me is like when he was on, what was he on? Bill Simmons a couple weeks ago. Oh man, he's just a crazy man.
I was downtown. Do you remember? He used to play basketball.
Bill Simmons?
Charles Barkley. Yeah. And he, back in the 90s, they were playing the Magic.
Yeah.
And near our arena downtown is an area called Church Street Station. And back then it was a bunch of raucous kind of bars and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like old timey saloons and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a club called Phineas Fogg, and I was out on the street. This was maybe 11:30 at night after the game, whatever. Maybe it was midnight. I was out on the street because it's kind of a pedestrian street and stuff. And all of a sudden, a man is thrown through a plate glass window. What? That big, large Phineas, like you would know the building. This huge plate glass window, a man is thrown through it. Charles Barkley threw him through it.
Are you serious?
They got into a fight, and he got arrested, and like it was a whole thing. Like he was suspended from the NBA and stuff. And I was 50 feet away. I saw the man get thrown through the window.
Wow.
Charles Barkley.
He's so used to attacking the glass. I mean, it just
Basketball.
He's the round mound rebound, guys. He's playing on the block. Okay,
But why would you
ask Ernie what that means?
Why would you get in a fight with a man that large if you're just like a normal sized human? That's just crazy, Bill.
I don't know.
He will throw you through a window, and he literally did.
Can I just say this though? I've always wanted to be in a saloon fight that ends with me getting kicked through the glass window. Like it starts with me and a guy, and maybe we're arguing over what tune is being played on the old timey piano, and we kind of have a little back and forth, and then he slides me all the way down the bar on my belly, and I'm like waving my hands like I'm swimming, going whoa. Then like he thinks I'm done, and I like crawl to the upstairs balcony, and he's bragging to his friends who are now by the old timey piano.
Back to you. Yeah.
I grab the chandelier, swing down, and and double kick him out through the window.
Done. That's it.
Done.
There's a land called Westworld where you can sign up and go there and do that exact thing.
I just want to get in an old timey saloon fight. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the guy dusts himself off after that, after he's outside, like dusting the glass off. He looks at me, tips his hat, and then he just walks out into the night. Like, you won this round, sir. That's how those saloon fights typically end.
This week, in case you missed it, Bono challenged Donald Trump to take up gender equality issues. The U2 frontman and activist was honored at an event held by Glamour magazine for his work with the One campaign. His organization recently launched an initiative called Poverty is Sexist, which seeks to eliminate gender discrimination and sexism. So while accepting his Man of the Year award, this is what he said. I say to the president-elect, look across to women, make equality a priority. It is the only way forward. As my daughter Jordan says, there is nowhere on earth where women have the same opportunities as men. Unless we address this problem, both men and women together, the world will continue down this misogynistic, violent, and impoverished path. The train is leaving the station. Be on it or be under it. It's powerful.
Wow.
Go Bono,
Go Bono, man.
Oh, Bono.
Yeah.
I wish they would make good music again because we need his voice like on the microphone for popular culture. But when they don't make good music, nobody pays attention to Bono anymore.
Yeah.
I do feel like
Yeah.
there is, as a response, I feel like there's going to be, well, Tribe Called Quest kind of started it. You're like, okay, we needed Tribe Called Quest back.
Oh my goodness.
Like we needed that to exist again in the world.
And
There's going to be more of that.
That is my banger in my car. You've seen the viral video of the guy listening to the song for the first time.
Yeah.
And then he like crawls out of sunroof and he loves it so much. He's so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
That's me every morning on my way into work.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's the best.
It's the best. It's the best.
But I think
was
it's-
listening to it this
Cameron's
morning. I was
gotten
getting
4
ready.
accidents this week.
Yeah. I keep crawling out the sunroof.
Yeah. But I think that kind of artistry will be highlighted in the next season of music because there's going to be voices that are going to rise to the top that will speak into the national conversation we're having. I feel like Tribe Called Quest was the beginning, but there will be more. Like I could see U2
Having their big comeback album.
doing something that's like, oh, thanks, that's what we needed to hear. We
Well,
need
well-
another like Streets with No Name or something
They
like that.
they need to do another Joshua Tree.
I
exactly.
think I think it's kind of cool that they've moved on. Like
No,
I
no,
think that other bands can be there.
No, I get it.
Right.
I get it. I think they've moved into a place of like it's just vanilla right now.
Yeah.
Like because of different friends or different cities I've been in. I've been to their last 2 tours several times, and it's not. I mean, they're great showmen.
Yeah. Mhm.
But the music, like when they play their great old stuff that
Right.
everybody loves, and then they'll like play like 3 or 4 new songs, and the place just dies, and they can feel it because the new stuff is terrible.
Yeah. Did you
compared to
Right.
But they wrote anthems for like a disenfranchised generation.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they were who would be our parents' age or like in the middle of Tiananmen Square and Reaganomics and a whole country in its own pile of turmoil. They were that voice. I'm curious who that
and
voice
the
will be
violence
now.
in Northern Ireland,
That's right.
and that that was
That's
his
right.
home.
Who
And-
will capture this era?
The Sunday Bloody Sunday and all
Yes.
that. I mean, like it was a voice of activism.
Right.
Did you guys see their latest concerts? HBO aired it from Paris because
I did, yeah.
When I watched that, it reminded me of how great they had the capacity to be.
Well, they do that. Those guys come out and are really perfect in those moments because they did the Super Bowl post 9/11.
Oh my goodness.
Like they're the band you want,
Yeah.
but I just am curious, like who's writing the next song because they're still the kind of the. It's like it's
Oh,
either-
so you weren't saying
rock voice of
you weren't
activism.
saying that there's a U2 album coming that will tap back into that old vein.
it would
a
be nice if
new
there
band.
was.
but you're saying a new band was probably going to
think
take the
they have-
mantle.
I think they have to be younger, and I think it has to be somebody. There needs to be like another one. It's either Paul Simon or those guys that show up at every like large tragic event to like heal the wound a little bit. Who's the new? Who is that now? Who's our generation's
that's
version?
the thing, though, man. Like the way that music has changed and the way that people consume music has changed and diversified to such a degree. The era of those ubiquitous stadium rock bands that everyone knows in a generation is probably past. Like, there will still be important voices in culture, but I highly, highly doubt it'll be a rock band, especially one that was able to have a global influence like U2. I mean, the last probably big band in the world is someone like Coldplay, because they kind of came at the tail end of like when terrestrial radio really made rock and roll artists. And obviously they don't have the same sort of message or political conviction as U2.
Gravitas.
So I do think there will be voices in culture, but I personally doubt it'll be a rock band.
Hey, in case you missed it this week, Dave Chappelle hosted SNL, and
That was magic.
It was
we had
awesome.
probably a top 3 all-time SNL moment. That opening monologue, it was
So
It
good.
was perfect. Now, if you haven't seen it and you're easily offended, don't take my endorsement as like, well, he said this is. It's there are moments that
You can take my endorsement.
Okay.
I think it's important that you listen to it, even if you're easily offended.
Yeah, it was amazing. I've watched it probably 10 times,
Yeah.
like on my phone. It's amazing.
Can I, moment of honesty? I didn't understand the Hillary Clinton opening.
Yeah.
I tried to I watched it a few times and I got that it was important, but I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why it was
I
important.
think they were trying to actually do a sincere moment that didn't quite land, honestly.
But people
Yeah.
were saying it was like one of the most significant moments in SNL history.
no, they're saying the Dave Chappelle monologue is. Nobody's. I didn't see that. I think everybody kind of felt that was a whiff. Like maybe
It was like weird. I could not.
Well, Eddie, I mean, you just for context, for people who don't know, Kate McKinnon dressed in character as Hillary Clinton, sat at a piano, and covered Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, which,
With not
as
with
you'll
joke
hear
lyrics.
soon, Leonard
Yeah.
Cohen passed away last week.
Right.
And that was his most memorable song. So for context, that's the moment that
they were just trying to tie together 2 moments of her having remorse and pain, and then hit that song being so pivotal and him passing away.
I just didn't feel smart enough. Like I was like, I don't get this, but it was just kind of, maybe it wasn't.
To me, it was like one of those things that I get I could see the writer's room. I could see everybody being super excited. I could see them even rehearsing it and the idea coming together perfectly. And I just felt like they were teeing up. They were trying too hard to create a moment that didn't have the gravitas that they were hoping
I was
it
swept
would.
away by the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you understand it?
Yeah. I think, we wrote about both of them here at Relevant. And so I think having posted both of the articles about the election and then about Leonard Cohen's passing, I think I understood the grieving of both of those things, and knowing how big of a Hillary Clinton supporter Kate McKinnon was. Yeah, I kind of felt it was like her moment of mourning something she really believed in. As well as America and the world's mourning of Leonard Cohen.
Yeah, but I will say this, back to Dave Chappelle.
I kind of get that.
I feel like Dave Chappelle had kind of not really been in the national consciousness in a while, at least to the degree that he once was. But just one episode of SNL, I think, reminded everyone of how important his comedy is, and particularly, what he closed the monologue with.
I will say the actual moment, though, of that show that I thought was the biting satire that everybody kind of recoiled at was actually the Chappelle Chris Rock sketch.
Yeah, when they were reviewing the election results.
Yeah, and they weren't surprised, but all the white people were realizing, and it was like, oh, that's the satire that I would that we kind of that was like very that was hard to watch.
Sobering.
So here's how
sobering's the word.
Dave ended his monologue.
A few weeks ago, I went to the White House for a party. It was the first time I'd been there in many years, and it was very exciting. And BET had sponsored the party, so everyone there was black, and it was beautiful. I walked through the gates. I'm from Washington, so I saw the bus stop, the corner where the bus stop used to be, where I used to catch the bus to school and dream about nights like tonight. It was a really, really beautiful night. And at the end of the night, everyone went into the West Wing of the White House, and it was a huge party. And everybody in there was black except for Bradley Cooper for some reason. And on the walls were pictures of all the presidents of the past. Now, I'm not sure if this is true, but to my knowledge, the first black person that was officially invited to the White House was Frederick Douglass. They stopped him at the gates. Abraham Lincoln had to walk out himself and escort Frederick Douglass into the White House. And it didn't happen again, as far as I know, until Roosevelt was president. When Roosevelt was president, he had a black guy over and got so much flack from the media that he literally said, "I will never have a in this house again." I thought about that, and I looked at that room, and I saw all those black faces in Bradley, and I saw how happy everybody was. these people who had been historically disenfranchised. And it made me feel hopeful, and it made me feel proud to be an American, and it made me very happy about the prospects of our country. So, in that spirit, I'm wishing Donald Trump luck, and I'm going to give him a chance, and we, the historically disenfranchised, demand that he give us one too. Thank you very much.
He really is like the George Carlin of comedy, isn't he? Like how that could be funny, yet the most poignant that ever. Yeah.
He covered everything.
Everything.
I mean, it was an incredibly long opener.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was like 12
But he
minutes,
did it with such very few people I know could segue from police brutality to Harambe with comedic ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his like stand-up style, he like lets it breathe. There's like a lot of silence. Like it was just, even though you had to have been terrified, it was just confident and poised and really thoughtful.
There are a few comedians who, within the course of literally seconds, can have people in like mouth open silence at the weight of what he says, and then laughing out loud just seconds later, and then have it back to this heavy silence. He is, arguably one of the, if not the most talented comedian of his generation, and that monologue showed it.
in case you missed it, big news this week. Big news. The Duck Dynasty era is officially coming to an end.
I'm shocked. I assumed it was automatic they were going to get 4 more years.
Really?
You felt like that's kind of what people were voting for.
Eddie.
Yeah, like it was a shoo-in. They win.
They just announced that the current season of Duck Dynasty will be the last. Over the course of the last 5 years and 11 seasons, the reality show became the most watched nonfiction series in the history of cable and spawned its own merchandise market, which included Christian books, devotionals, camouflage Bibles, clothes. I mean, like literally a whole
entire
section.
Walmarts were dedicated to Duck Dynasty.
Not entire Walmart, not entire sections for real. It's unbelievable.
It's like, okay, I got electronic, I got tires, I got groceries. Oh, there's the Duck Dynasty section. I was looking for some Sal branded Crocs. Okay, here they are.
Christianity was a big part of the show, but the family patriarch, Phil Robertson, was also known for making controversial and inflammatory remarks that ended up getting him suspended from the show at one point.
Yeah.
Members of the family have also become increasingly political. Willie and Corey Robertson attended the 2014 State of the Union address, and Willie spoke at this year's Republican National Convention. The final episode airs in April.
My mom has a Sal bobblehead, and when you walk by, it says quippy things that he said on the show.
Oh, gosh.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Where
it's
is
like
it in her
prominently
home?
placed on, when you walk into someone's house and on the entryway, there's maybe like a coat rack or like a nice
little table or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
on that table.
On that table.
Yeah, so guests are greeted by Sal.
So right in the foyer where people are removing their coats, like they have Sal from Duck Dynasty in bobblehead form saying quippy things to them.
Yeah, it is your first
Is it
impression.
like motion detected?
Yeah.
Oh,
Does she
okay.
think it's funny?
Yes, it's replaced. It will be replaced soon by a Santa who sings Jingle Bell Rock and like moves his hips.
Yeah.
I'm dying. I am dying.
Yeah.
So you basically are your mom, is what we're hearing.
Are you surprised?
I am dying. Wow, that is what a terrible thing.
All right, well, that'll do it for
In case you missed it.
Stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
Boy, we hate your ways. So all you bad folks, you must go.
The fog and the smog of the media that logs false narratives of guys that came up against the odds. We're not just rappers with the bars. It's kismet that we're cosmic with the stars. You bastards overlooking street art, better yet street smart, but you keep us off the chart. Some of your numbers and your statistician. You know about true competition. It's like the AO picture on there talking about he hitting. The only one who's hitting are the ones that's currently spitting. We got your Missy smitten, rubbing on a little kitten, dreaming up a world that's equal for women with no division. Boy, I tell you that's vision. Like Tony Romo when he hitting with it.
You're listening to A Tribe Called Quest. The song is
Best.
The song is We the People. Notice we're playing the verse, not necessarily the hook, because without the context of the full song, if you only heard the hook, people would be like, "Excuse me."
What?
So we played the verse. Go listen to the whole song because it's great.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Kishi Bashi with "Can't Let Go," Juno.
Kishibashi, the most important band of 2016, according to Aaron. Probably the most important band of the decade.
I had thought Nature Box sponsored us. I thought Kishibashi was something
new
they were.
granola
had.
mix.
Oh yeah,
They were serving
Blue
us.
Apron. Actually, that was my latest recipe. It was like Kishi Box,
Blue Apron, yeah.
whatever they are.
Kishibashi.
Kishibashi.
Delicious.
Couscous with
Yeah.
Kishibashi.
And roasted Brussels sprouts and quinoa salad.
With a hint of rosemary.
All right, it's time for slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have an uplifting Thanksgiving themed news story that this is the kind of story just America needs more of. So a 17-year-old in Arizona, his name was Jamal, was just kind of doing his thing, and he saw his phone start getting text messages. And he realized that he was on a thread of people that he didn't know. So he texted back one of the numbers and asked who it was because the person was inviting him to come to a Thanksgiving dinner. So the woman texts back. She said, "It's your grandmother." So Jamal thought that was strange because he didn't recognize the number and it just wasn't adding up. So he asked the woman to send him a picture of herself to confirm that the woman was actually his grandmother. So the woman sent him a picture. She's smiling, and it's definitely not his grandmother. And so he texted back with a crying emoji, and says, "Look, there's a mix-up here. You're not my grandmother." And he jokingly responded, "Can I still get that plate, though?" ? That's when the story took a happy twist.
I love that guy.
Yeah, can I still get that plate though?
Yeah.
I love that reply.
Yeah, because you still got a lovely dinner on the way, so you can't want to wreck
Yeah, I
your
mean,
chances.
he thought, okay, it's just they invited me to Thanksgiving dinner. Obviously, it's a mix-up. I'm just going to have a little fun with it.
Right.
Her reply though was this: "Of course you can. That's what grandmas do. Feed everyone."
Oh.
And she included a cake emoji. So he was so moved by this that he uploaded the conversation, like screenshots, to Twitter, and 300,000 people liked his tweet. Wow. That's awesome. So the story ended up going viral. There was one little mishap in it. He forgot to blur out the woman's phone number when the fake grandmother.
Oh no, she's a real grandma. It's not his grandma.
Yeah, she's a real grandma. She ended up getting over 600 texts asking if other people could come to her Thanksgiving dinner.
I guess grandmas don't feed
she
everyone.
had to change. She ended up having to change her phone number, but her family was interviewed by a local newspaper there in Arizona where this happened, and they wanted to clear the air and said, "Listen, we have no hard feelings about the phone number getting shared. We've actually are welcoming Jamal and his entire family to our Thanksgiving dinner this year." And so two families are going to come together who have never met and have a big Thanksgiving feast together because of a mistaken text thread. This is the kind of story America needs to hear.
I love the
Oh,
internet.
that's a really sweet story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a similar thing happened to me this week. No, I'm not kidding. Like, not an aspect of this story. So yesterday, I had jury duty. And so and it was like a last minute thing. Like I didn't realize until the night before, because I'd gotten the summons like 6 months ago, and I put it in a drawer. And I was paying bills on Wednesday night at like midnight, and I was pulling out my stuff in my important drawer, and there was a jury summons, and it was for the next day, which was yesterday. No, they didn't call me. Oh. So it was like I have to report at 7 a.m. to the courthouse or whatever, So I'm there, and I'm finally there, and I go, and I on Instagram stories, I took a picture of the juror summons. Or a little video of it, and I was like, your day's gonna be better than mine, whatever, right?
I like.
And then all of a sudden,
I didn't mind
the I'm at the courthouse and we lose cell reception, so I don't have it again for like another hour, like on a break. And all of a sudden, I had 63 messages on Instagram because I had posted my address. It was the thing had my address on it, and so all these people were like joking, like I'm gonna come over for your parties, I'm gonna come TP your house, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So my home address was broadcast to whoever's following me on Instagram yesterday.
Funny.
Wow.
So,
things, those
And
things
you missed
delete
Waffle
themselves.
Day.
That's rough, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I will say, we put out Chandler's phone number
That's true. We did.
And
At
that-
4 in the
that
morning.
seemed to be okay.
During the Nicolas Cage thing.
And if anybody still has it, feel free to tweet it.
Yeah, it's true.
and we'll
Probably do.
retweet it like
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, Jamal's grandmother's coming over for Thanksgiving.
that really was a sweet Thanksgiving story. That like warmed my heart. I love that.
Especially because the teenager Jamal was, just having some fun with it. Like he wasn't being like mean spirited, but his reply, I don't think he was actually assuming he was going to get that meal though.
Right.
Like
He's
he was
just
just
being
messing
funny. I
around.
just like
Yeah.
him.
Have I told you, like, I have a pretty easy to guess email address. And over the years, I've shared, like, that I've gotten some random correspondence, like...
Eddie at Eddie.com.
Right. Like, there's a homeowners association in South Florida that sends me all of the minutes of their meetings. And I've told them in no uncertain terms, like, hey, this is not who you think it is, like, whatever. Yet I get the meeting minutes, and now I respond. I'm like, I don't think you should clear out that tree. Like, I don't think you should pull a permit for it. I don't think you should repaint the entryway. Like, I'm like, what else am I doing? So last week, I started to get emails for, it's corporate emails from Burger King in Africa. So the African corporate center of Burger King, and they are asking about different locations that they're opening, hiring and firing this manager. I'm in like full correspondence, and my first email back is always, my name is Eddie. I live in the United States. I am not who you think this is. This is the email that you mistakenly whatever. And they're always like, sorry. And then later on that day, of course, it's just like, so when we're doing a grand opening, should we have this and this? And then I just start to reply. It's so fun. Like you're like speaking in, we're going to change the course of Burger King in Africa. That's the dream.
I'm on a thread. Yeah, hence your Ethiopian bandana.
Right. I'm clearly ready for this.
I'm on a thread with some guys I went to college with, and a few years ago we were like planning a trip together, and someone had like put in an email address that wasn't mine, but that was close to mine. It was in fact another Jesse Carey, and he's just started corresponding with us, and we started corresponding with him. Occasionally we would ask the other Jesse Carey his opinion about things to do on the trip, and he was contributing. So I appreciate that, Jesse, if you're listening.
I have a friend
Who's a
whose
girl?
name is Taylor Swift. He's a guy, and he's older than the Taylor Swift, but he was the original Taylor Swift at gmail.com.
No way.
Yeah. And he gets, anything under the sun that you would imagine.
Oh, poor
Fan
guy.
mail.
You need to just go by like Tay-Tay or something. It's like you just change it up.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you have suggestions of what Tay-Tay should go by.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have big Thanksgiving plans? Speaking of Thanksgiving, just big family things, or
Yeah,
no?
just like normal family stuff. I'm actually like happy about that. Just normal this year.
My mom texted me a few days ago and said, "Hey, I don't feel like cooking. I'm just gonna go to a restaurant. So, what restaurant do y'all want to go to?" And I was like, "Okay, forget this. We are making memories for my child, and that ain't gonna be like at the Shoney's. You know what I mean?" Yeah. So I'm hosting Thanksgiving at my house.
Captain D's.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't cook, so I ordered everything from restaurants.
You
But
should. It's great.
yeah.
Dude,
So we'll pick it up.
I mean,
That's the one
I
thing
was
that-
planning on doing half of it, but
No, you weren't.
yeah. Dude, I love cooking. Are you kidding?
Can I?
I'm not kidding. Are you kidding?
no, he
No,
really
I
does.
love
Wow.
cooking. Yeah.
Hold on. So he's
Ladies.
single. He's handsome.
Last
he's
year for
wearing a dirty
Thanksgiving-
beanie and,
And
he
he's-
cooks.
Yeah.
Last year for Thanksgiving, he cooked some steaks, but my mom is really picky, and she sent it back.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was too rare.
She went in there and microwaved it.
They were really
she
nice
stared
steaks.
him dead in the eye and microwaved it as she was punching the
Chandler,
buttons.
I'm sure it was
Wow.
really good.
No,
I'm
it was
so
great.
sorry.
She just doesn't like,
We usually
undercooked
cater
steaks.
dinner at my house for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's nice. Well, my family my dad has been married 5 times. My mom has been married
Sweet.
a couple others.
By design? Was that the hope going in?
Yeah, I think that was the dream.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that they all, so for Thanksgiving and Christmas,
we just skipped right.
Cameron's mouth is on the floor right
I
now.
only could make a joke because if we get into it, it's like way,
it's
way,
not
way.
weird. It's just life.
It is a little bit. 5 times is like. I mean,
it's like Rod Stewart.
it's
cool.
just like Rod Stewart. That's how you get through the day.
Here's the cool thing is that everyone gets along. And so on Thanksgiving and Christmas, we all go to my dad's house and my sister's mom is there, which is my dad's first wife. My mom is there with me and my sister.
Wow.
And his present wife, Phaedra, who's awesome, is there.
Adra?
Phaedra.
Adra?
Adra.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is silent in
Jesse-
the studio
Jesse's
right
mouth
now.
just-
You
Gabe.
opened up.
I was gonna
You
go
just-
somewhere totally different with this, and I'm just gonna sit this on
great.
the
I think
You
sideline.
so nonchalantly opened
Till
up
Eddie's,
such a
till
gigantic.
Eddie's
all I've ever known.
wildly personal questions.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I even? We just go past it. Like we just keep talking.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Phaedra.
Let me ask you this: do you guys think that this will be across America the most? There will be more awkward silences and passive aggressive comments said around Thanksgiving tables than any Thanksgiving dinner in a generation because of the political season.
Oh, for
do
sure.
you think there will be more like, well, fine, just pass the potatoes. Like, just get
I actually have a
potatoes.
little hope for it. I think it's so known that it's so jarring for everyone that it's like, I would have been nervous had it been pre-election because everybody's still fighting for it. But at this point, I think everyone has. I think it's just so incredibly painful for some and not for others that I kind of feel like there's been an increased level of. I hope there's a little bit increased level of sensitivity to the fact that it's just still too soon.
In 2008, my family and I were visiting a friend's Christmas party and a mutual family friend. And my mom and I were in the kitchen screaming at each other about politics and ruined the party for everybody. We didn't talk for a year after that. And then now we as a family have agreed that there's certain things that we
politics.
won't talk about,
There you
and
go.
politics is among them. And so my mom, after this election, started texting me, and I reminded her of our rule.
Yeah.
And so Thanksgiving will be
you go.
fine.
How's Phaedra going to do with this?
We do great. She caters from Ethos Vegan Kitchen.
Oh, Ethos is one of the great restaurants.
It's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Vegan Thanksgiving?
That's not. Yeah, I am thankful for not having to take part in that. I want to be. Like the Strang family has passed around a list of acceptable topics, and number one this year is undercooked meats, and it has parentheses Chandler underlined. Number two on the list is salmonella, and it also says Chandler next to it. It's a lot of meat temperature talk. Thanks to
I
Chandler.
have a feeling this year's Thanksgiving will bring up a lot of Chandler's dating life conversation.
I hope so.
Do they listen to the show? They couldn't.
No, my dad does every
No,
once
yeah,
in a
yeah,
while
our
because
dad
he
does.
tries to stay in touch. But my mom's never heard it. But
Yeah. I just actually texted Phaedra. I asked her if I could get a plate, and she said yes.
Eddie, you
Phaedra's
are
job is to
clearly
feed
all
everyone.
are
She said,
welcome.
"Who dis?"
New phone.
all right, what do you have, Eddie?
Wow. That was really something. I literally.
So sorry, I had no
You don't
idea.
you don't need to be sorry. I just don't know. I guess is that the next spin-off podcast that I just get to ask her about her family for a while?
Eddie, let me just say this. I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, you've heard me on this show. I think that was
Chelsea-
remargable self-control.
Chelsea and the Stepmoms would be
Chelsea
a
and the
band I would go
Stepmoms.
see like at Epcot
Thank
Center.
you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do.
Friendsgiving.
I'm gonna kick my parents out while the sun's still up. You know, like we'll do a lunchish thing.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. It's resolved before dinner time.
No, but that's it. You serve pie by 4.
Yeah,
They're going to be out
and
of there
then
by 5.
at night, I want to have like a Friendsgiving dessert thing where everybody
Yes.
does pies and stuff and have
Right.
friends over.
I'll be there.
There,
I mean, JD. But
JD will be there.
I was shocked. I literally was like so excited for a second. Like pie. That's what gets them to finally
if
come
you
over.
have Kevin Max at a party, I am not showing up. Kevin
Okay.
Max or just you. That's the only
Okay.
2 parties
All
I'll
right.
show up to.
You come over. We'll have some pie and watch David Blaine specials on DVR.
But no one else can be
No one
there.
else.
That sounds like the greatest pie and David Blaine specials. It should be its own holiday. Like, don't even put it on Thanksgiving. Find it at like a low time of the year. And
That's like-
it's Pie David Blaine Day.
That could be just Christmas Day.
like in May. We're like we haven't had a holiday in a
Oh,
while.
it's Pi Day.
Yeah.
3/14, March 14th.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a real pie day. A real holiday.
3.14159 pi.
Wow, the day before my birthday. See, I'm always
Yeah.
so focused on the next day being my birthday.
Yeah.
I never
You
realized
got a
that Pi
pregame
Day.
with pies.
Interesting.
Pi Day. Yeah,
Cool.
David Blaine and pie.
Okay.
Sounds odd.
You just binge all of his specials, including those terrible endurance challenges, which is just watching him in an ice cube for like 6 straight hours. But it's a national holiday, so everyone's got to do it. But you're eating pie. You're eating pie while you're watching him, so it's not that big a deal.
Okay, so yearly, the Oxford Dictionary releases the new words of the English language. And a few of these lists come out. Webster's is always a little bit goofy, they do like
They're just trying to
real-
stay relevant.
They
don't
made an
care.
emoji
They are.
last year.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
They have no. Webster's has no credibility anymore.
Oxford is very legit. Like this is going to be a part of the lexicon. Now, what's interesting is some of these are very relevant and culturally now, but I think they're going to stick. So I'm going to burn through them pretty quickly because there's 10 of them. The first one I have a hard time pronouncing, so I'll just start with it. I think it's hygge, which is it means the quality of coziness and comfortable conviviality that engenders a feeling of contentment or well-being. Apparently, this is not a word that's made it to America yet, but it's just something it's like Zen. Like I'm just feeling comfortable. So apparently it's some sort of social media.
So it's like the end of David Blaine Day.
Is it hugga? Like
it's
a
spelled
hug?
Hygge, but it's pronounced. They said it rhymes with sugar. Can we just go to the next one? This was the one I was least interested in. So the next one is Brexiteer, which you can imagine, a person who is in favor of the UK withdrawing from the European Union. Latinx, Latinx, which is a person of Latin American origin or descent, but a gender neutral version. So you know how in Spanish things are end with there's gender specific. So they're trying to do gender neutral endings to words. And they're calling that there's a new suffixes being added that are gender neutral called Latinx, which is interesting. Coulrophobia. Anybody want to guess what that might be? Coulro phobia.
So it's the fear of something.
Fear of cauliflower.
Coulrophobia.
I really hope it's the fear of cauliflower.
It is. You're really close. It is the fear of clowns.
Oh.
Which, of course,
wait, that wasn't already a phrase before?
It's been around for a couple of years, from Stephen King's It is mentioned. But this year there have been some actually serious and not at all funny reports of clown sightings and terrible things happening that it has...
They're luring children into the woods, for real.
Yeah, that's right.
I can't believe that that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's super awful.
And
it's got its
own...
own...
And they feed them cauliflower when they're in the woods.
And they make them eat
the worst
cauliflower.
part of it all.
Which is the worst. It's the worst. If you do not have some kind of ranch dip, then don't even go near a cauliflower because...
But what about a cooked cauliflower? Why do they put that in the medley? Like the vegetable medley?
What?
The cooked cauliflower.
I like it.
You would really hate Thanksgiving at my house.
It's the honeydew melon of the vegetable world.
It is. It's the filler.
But I think
It's when you buy one of those tubs of fruit salad and you get past the 4 strawberries and 2 pineapples and you're
Honeydew.
like, dude, I got nothing but weird green melon in here.
I think you gotta have a little downspace every once in a while.
It's the ballad on the album Between the Hits.
That's
you
exactly
gotta
right.
breathe a little bit.
It's
And
track 5.
The cauliflower is track 5 of the vegetable medley.
Fine.
Vegetable
Still
deep
necessary.
cuts.
Still necessary.
My theory is if ranch dip did not exist, we would just remove.
So
cauliflower
you're
from
saying
this
cauliflower
planet.
exists solely to let the green beans shine?
Exactly. Well, you look. I mean, if you got a veggie platter, you gotta it can't be. You gotta have some fillers there.
Think of it like this.
Because if everything's wonderful, you forget how wonderful it is. So you got to throw some cauliflower to the mix, so everything else is so much better.
Right.
Yeah.
You can
I
think
understand
of it,
that.
even the best podcast, right?
Yeah.
With the most engaging personalities.
Needs to have an Eddie.
You need to have someone sitting there snickering and turning up and down the volume.
That's me.
Right? And saying that's
dirty
me.
beanie.
Didn't add anything, didn't make it funnier.
Some
Just
filthy beanie in there, just turning knobs.
you gotta hit record.
So you're saying the cauliflower is the filthy beanie of the vegetable platter?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. It seems like a perfect analogy. Adulting, the practice of behaving in a way characteristic of a responsible adult. So people will use this
Kelsey's
online.
adulting right now. She has a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Stability.
There are a couple of funny tweets here that have been, one said, "I just had gummy bears for dinner," #adulting. So that's kind of how you would use
That's
it.
about right.
Chatbot, a computer program designed to simulate conversation with human users. So there's been a lot of chatbots and things on Twitter. A few that are really, really, well, the other one is woke.
Yeah.
An informal alert to injustice in society, especially racism, so woke. And the last 3 are very pertinent. The first is Glass Cliff, used with reference to situation in which a woman or a member of a minority group ascends to a leadership position in challenging circumstances where the risk of failure is high. So you can either hit the glass ceiling, the glass cliff, or you can shatter the glass ceiling. The second to last one is alt-right, an ideological group and associated with extreme conservatism. I think we've heard a lot about alt-right.
So it's a word now?
It is a word now, alt-right.
I hear it. I mean, in like, maybe just for or the things that I read and listen to. But for the last few weeks, I think I've heard that term almost daily.
Yeah. I know it as a word, but I didn't think that it was like. I mean, it's a hyphenation of two words. So I mean, it's like
right, but it's yes,
it has become its own movement.
Yeah.
And so the word of the year is post-truth. Anybody know what the word post-truth means?
Yeah, it's basically what happened during the debates. It was things that were incorrect but stated as truth, and they just weren't.
Right. So like Obama founding ISIS. Like you just say that enough, it becomes truth, but it's not actually a thing that is grounded in truth. So
can I just say this about post-truth too?
Yeah.
If there is a Charles Barkley like NBA player in needing of a nickname that plays down on the block, post-truth is a great nickname for like a power forward.
That's
true.
Actually a great point. I have no follow-up joke. It's a great joke.
I killed that one. Continue, Eddie.
You did. No, that's the end of my song.
I stand by it. I just feel like you really set me up to fail there, Eddie.
That's the end of
Obama. If you hadn't let into that with Obama ISIS and really taken the room down, people would have loved Barkley being called post-truth.
Post-truth. Well, because I mean, Paul Pierce was called the truth, because
exactly.
he was just the truth.
But Eddie, it was like here's the thing, Eddie. It was like the Chappelle thing. You took the room down and with Obama founding ISIS, but I couldn't bring that back up. I'm not a Chappelle. So anyway, if Ernie Johnson was on this podcast, he should be rolling right now. It's a smart joke and a basketball.
His bow tie would be spinning.
Basketball fans would have got
excitement. Yeah.
I hope you don't edit a second of that quiet silence out after. I need people to know.
I hope you don't edit a minute of my defense either, Chandler.
Yeah,
I'm listening to this to make sure that people hear what really transpired. Not Eddie's post-truth version of it.
Yeah, that's right. No, the post-truth version would be like, hey, great way to wrap up the segment, Jesse. I loved it. Jesse really knows how to wrap up the segment. Hilarious.
Jesse is the best rapper-upper of segments that has ever existed.
Yeah.
That's post-truth. Okay. What do you have, Chelsea?
This is actually a great segment, I think, talking about alt-right and post-truth.
Segue?
Great segue. I'm sorry.
Does it have any good basketball jokes in it? Because if not, I'm just going to sit it out. Eddie already ruined me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe take a break on this one. I have some bad news for fake news websites this week. Both Google and Facebook have been facing criticisms for allowing fake news sites to use their ad space because while the existence of fake news isn't anything new, these sites became more or less of an epidemic in this last election cycle.
In the post-truth election cycle.
Yeah. So the biggest problem that we've seen with these types of sites existing is that the content publishers of these fake news sites receive money for clicks. So people weren't necessarily putting up these websites to dog the candidate that they liked the least, but people were catching on to this trend and just creating the most clickbait-worthy headline to receive money from clicks.
Oh.
Yeah. So BuzzFeed even reported that...
Ironically
reported that 100 of these websites were being created out of Macedonia. So it's not just people in America who are trying to sway people left or right.
Classic Macedonia.
Macedonia
would be the name for a good power forward.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Get it, Jesse? Because it's a
Macedonia.
Yeah,
like he's masked down on the. I'm trying to think if you made a real joke there. I can't. Whatever it was, Eddie was butchered. And you get nothing but silence from me.
I took a thin, terrible reference and made it into a basketball joke.
Bringing us back. At the beginning of the week, both Google and Facebook announced that they would no longer be allowing fake news sites to use their ad selling services, which is a great step in the right direction. But beyond limiting the reach of these fake news sites, a lot of people thought companies like Google and Facebook should work towards explicitly labeling fake news sites as counterfeit. So Google acted quickly, and now they've already created a downloadable extension for Google Chrome that will label news sites that offer fake stories as news as counterfeit. So I already downloaded the extension, and it's really cool. And I went to a pretty well-known fake news.
CNN.
I went to CNN.com.
The lamestream media. I went to a bunch of them, and it doesn't work.
How do they differentiate between fake and like? How does the Onion not get counterfeit?
Well, so that is categorized as
Satire.
satirical
Yeah.
news
Yeah.
Okay.
versus something like Breitbart, which is what I went to. It has no distinction. There's nothing clever about it. It's just alt-right media of
But Breitbart isn't technically fake news, though, right? I mean, they're news from a hard spun perspective, but I don't think they're publishing false news, like just made up news
They
stories.
can be. So some of their articles can just be a strong opinion coming from their perspective, and then they could also have articles that are influenced by things that Eddie was referencing about post-truths that aren't necessarily seeped in any kind of
Breitbart
truth at all.
wasn't it said counterfeit or fake, is it? Did the Google filter
So
hit it?
if you download the Google Chrome app, there's a little banner that will pop up if you visit that website, and it says the information on this site might be false or misleading.
Might be.
Might be.
So some is correct and
So
some is wrong.
it's letting you know that if you visit a site like this, sure, there could just be something that is so heavily opinionated in a certain camp, or it could be a story that is coming from a post-truth that has never really had any validity to it whatsoever.
Wow.
Well, the challenging thing is, and that's why the Breitbart example is so interesting, is because there are sites that are legitimately just fake news, like the ones coming out of, like Breitbart isn't a Macedonian
Right.
website that that's
purely-
literally just
yeah.
publishing fictional headlines. You know what I mean? Like there
Yeah.
are websites that just write like, oh, 6 people got murdered at this event, where it's just an event that never happened. I think an organization like Breitbart is why, even with these filters, it would be so hard to stop, like, quote unquote, fake news, because there are sites that will combine, legitimate news, but the perspective that they bring it from is so one-sided that it might not tell all of the story. And I don't know if there's any technical way to fix that. I feel like that's the underlying problem, is that you can't stop people from spinning stories.
Spinning, yeah.
That's
That's true.
That it ultimately comes down to, like, this will get the low-hanging fruit. This will get stuff that is just clickbait farms and people just cranking out, 50 fake blog posts a day. But we're coming into an era where internet media consumers are going to have to get a lot, honestly, a lot smarter, and are going to have to double source every story, because there's a lot of real media organizations out there right now that won't do that. That'll pull from one source, and if that one source has a bias, it can trickle into every other source. So it's going to end up coming down to the user, not the platform, to make sure that you're reading from multiple sources to understand the full scope of stories.
Right.
Fake news would be my basketball player name. See? Wow. See? It just doesn't even make sense.
I think alt-right should be your basketball player name.
So are you saying he's a left-handed player? He's like a left-handed point guard?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's alt-right. Watch it. You'll
I'd
break
be-
your ankles.
I'd be Brexit. So I just play, but I just speak in a British accent.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned.
See how it just ruins it, Jesse?
Up next, Young the Giant joins us.
Now you found a new star to orbit. It could be love, I think you're too soon to call us so. When and where did we go cold? I thought I had you on hold, and every time I let you leave, I always saw you coming back to me. When and where did we go cold? I thought I had you on hold. I thought I had you on hold. I thought I had you on hold.
You're listening to the XX. The song is On Hold. Great new track by the XX. Dig the XX.
Yeah, great band.
Oh, they're on SNL. this week.
Oh, yeah?
XX and Kristen Wiig.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a good show.
Can't wait.
This week's feature interview is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring and you're wanting to know where the right spot is to post your job opening to find the best candidates, you need to check out ZipRecruiter. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality people. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the job sites, and now you can.
Oh, I see.
ZipRecruiter already has 9 million resumes you can search through in their database. You can add multiple people to your account, make it most efficient for your team to find the best hire. And with ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click.
Wow.
ZipRecruiter is basically a search engine for finding and posting jobs. So you can find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in. ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. You can quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the person fast. If you have any issues, ZipRecruiter's friendly and human support staff is ready to help. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million businesses so far and has been featured on Forbes, Time, New York Times, TechCrunch, CBS, and more.
All real news sites.
Yeah, none of those would be labeled.
Yeah.
There you go. And right now, relevant podcast listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/relevant. That's ZipRecruiter.com/relevant. One more time, to try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com.
And I remember job searching and like doing resumes like many years ago, and none of this existed. It was like so hard.
Yeah.
It was like a job for a job. You were just all day just searching for a way to kind of get a resume in front of someone. This seems like such a clever...
It's a hub.
I like it.
That's
a really good idea.
There you go. Well, Young the Giant's latest album has launched hits like America with a K. We've played on the show here. Something to Believe In. We've played on the show here. And Titus Was Born. We've played on the show here. And has garnered critical acclaim for its intricate arrangements and catchy indie rock stylings. Home of the Strange explores big ideas centered on the immigrant experience in America, which they know because all of the band members come from immigrant families.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. With lyrics about identity, modern American culture, and social issues. We featured them in the new issue of Relevant, and we wanted to bring part of that conversation here on the show today. Here is Young the Giant.
Flash faded. Say you care, but you don't. You know I hate it. It's a rich kid game, didn't grow up with the throne. It's all it really is. I was searching for something as I watched you run. I was sad when you said that you never really wanted some. Were you looking for someone?
Tell us about Young the Giant. I mean, how'd y'all get together?
Well, we got together in Southern California, in Irvine. But we've kind of had stories from all over the place. You know, I was born in Michigan, but my parents immigrated here. As Indians, obviously they were born and raised in India. Moved to Michigan. My dad worked for, Ford and Chrysler and stuff in the 90s. And, we consider ourselves, all of us, we have similar stories, where parents came here for a great opportunity, or we, like Jake and Francois both, they're, Francois is a French Canadian and Jake is British, and they're not even American citizens.
Oh, really?
But we all have our relationship here in America now. I think our identity is somewhere in between. But I think where we came from is like just such a great melting pot for diversity, and just even though like it was a suburb and there's kind of really not much to do. I think we delighted in the fact that we were able to like be around so many different cultures and people and just understanding. And I think that's where maybe not consciously, but I think our music, we drew a lot from the local music scene, but I think we all brought a little bit of our flair into it. I wouldn't want to say it's like, actually off of our sleeves, conscious, like this is ethnic music, but it just kind of subconscious, like your taste and what you grew up on. I grew up on Pink Floyd and the Beatles, but also, I heard Bollywood music and heard some Indian classical, and and how that affected rock and roll in the 60s and 70s. And, Francois has a very strong French bass, and, Jake's British, and Eric's Italian, and Pine's Persian. So everyone brings these little things and their stories to the table. And that's kind of how we joined, man. We just, there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't much to do in Irvine. But we met each other at a very young age. Like, I met Pine when I was, 10 years old.
Oh, gosh.
And we all started picking up instruments separately from one another. But there was a strong local music scene, and I think we wanted to do something a little bit different. So we were really influenced at that time when we first started by The Strokes and a local band called The Color, who just done these insane live shows. Are so different than anything we really heard coming out of our area, because our area was known for Thrice and Rage Against the Machine. So especially in the early 2000s, it was really big. It just blossomed from there. I don't think we ever intended it to get to the level that it has now.
Burn up a basement full of demons. Realize you're a slave to your mind. Break free. Now give me something to believe in. Just give me something to believe in. Every day when I speak to the moon, pale as a ghost in the after.
What does it look like for Young the Giant to make music? Do you have a process that's pretty consistent, or what goes into that for y'all?
Yeah, it's a pretty continuous, full-on process. The first two albums, we lived together for literally lived in houses together, and which was great. But this record, I think, we are all living separately from one another, but we live, still less than a mile from each of our own places. So there's always a studio that was around, and even when we were traveling, when we first started, writing again. Actually, the third song that we've released off of this new album, Titus, it was the first song that we wrote, and it was just kind of on the road, and it's a continuous learning process. And we've written 40 songs, 50 songs for the album.
Wow.
And some songs had many different versions, and I think we just when we're in the studio, it just kind of becomes our life, and we're just in it together, and we love it. It's just what we live for.
In your mind, are y'all? I mean, this is your third full album. Are y'all settling in? You think you'll hit 10, 20 albums, or how do you feel about the trajectory of Young the Giant?
Well, I was saying that. We still live so close to each other, and I think especially now, even when the album's done, we continue to write together, and we realize it's a really important thing to keep all of our sanity. It's a cathartic thing. But and we're still young, so yeah, I'm only 26. Some of the guys are also that age, so I think we have a lot of good years ahead of us, and so we're going to keep going. And we're also, I'll keep options open, but for now, Young the Giant is all of our main thing.
That was Young the Giant. Make sure to check out their new album, Home of the Strange, and check out the feature on them in the new issue of Relevant.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Up next, Brian McLaren.
Play the game I know so well. It's a fair trade. Many worth it never.
You're listening to Sohn, S-O-H-N, all capital letters.
Oh, that's my basketball name. Because I'm good at basketball.
If you were
Eddie,
like,
Eddie,
if your like hobby was like knitting or sewing,
Yeah, totally.
like your basketball name would be Sohn.
Yeah.
Yeah. The song is Conrad. I like that track. Brian McLaren is an author and theologian known for asking big questions and proposing thought-provoking and at times controversial ideas about God, the Bible, and how to apply it to modern culture. We recently spoke with Brian about his latest book, The Great Spiritual Migration, and why the current generation of millennial Christians may not actually be leaving the church. They may be changing how it looks. Here is part of Jesse Carey's conversation with Brian McLaren.
Is our understanding of the gospel terribly, terribly faulty when it is seen primarily as a message of self-preservation? Maybe all along the gospel was actually a call to us to move beyond selfish concerns. Maybe what repentance means is to repent from only being worried about your own individual well-being. So that question is one we have to address. I personally think the core of the gospel is not, here's how to go to heaven when you die and avoid hell, but here's how to join God in God's kingdom coming and God's will being done on earth as it is in heaven. Since for Jesus, the gospel was defined as the kingdom of God is at hand. Now, I know for a lot of people, that phrase means you can go to heaven when you die, but I don't think that's what Jesus meant by it. Putting that aside, and we can talk more about that if you want, but putting that aside, I do think a lot of us come to faith because of personal need, whether it's fear of hell or a need for deliverance from addiction or a need for community or whatever. We come out of a sense of need. There's nothing wrong with that. But once our needs are met, then we face the question, are we actually going to become followers of Christ? And if we're interested in really becoming followers or disciples or students of Jesus, then his way is a way of concern for others, not self-interest only.
Yeah, I think that's so interesting and important because it does. Well, once you start reframing the person of Jesus, it totally reframes how you think about your own life and the gospel.
Exactly right. And I remember what happened to me. I had been a pastor for over a decade, and I was at this point a pastor in my late 30s. And I remember one conversation where I realized for Jesus, the gospel is not, here's how to go to heaven when you die. For Jesus, the gospel is, the kingdom of God is at hand. I had no idea what that meant. And I remember leaving that conversation thinking, I'm a pastor and I'm about to rethink the whole essence of what the gospel is. And I went back and literally over the next several months, I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and just tried to kind of go back to the beginning and learn in fresh ways. Thankfully, this is way back in the 90s when I was grappling with this. Now, there are so many Christian writers from N.T. Wright to Lisa Sharon Harper to many others who are raising these questions and helping people. And what becomes very exciting to me is to think about what a new generation of Christians will do when instead of being taught a kind of evacuation plan gospel, here's how to go to heaven, and instead they're taught from the beginning a transformation plan gospel. Here's what God is doing to bring healing to the earth, and here's how we can be part of it.
part of what I feel like happens during this shift is, and this is, again, something kind of alluded to in the books and a lot of other things you've written is, no longer seeing Christianity as simply just a list of beliefs or rules. And sort of just playing devil's advocate here, mainly as someone who's grown up in, evangelical culture, that raises sort of this ingrained internal warning that this idea of doctrine must be protected, So for someone that wants to make this type of shift, what role does doctrine play, and how should we think about establishing core principles that are inflexible in light of still wanting to think about the gospel in a new way?
Yes. Well, first, let me say, I grew up in a extremely conservative evangelical background. You could even call it fundamentalist. And so I understand the fear that people have when they read the first 3 chapters of this book. And I didn't say these things just to stir them up or upset them. I said them because I really think they're true. And I think that the problem becomes clear when you imagine rewriting certain things Jesus said. For example, if Jesus had said, by their correct doctrine you shall know them, we'd be okay. But he didn't. He said, by their fruit you shall know them. Or if Paul had said, the only thing that matters is correct doctrine expressing itself in correct behavior, we'd be fine. But Paul didn't say that. He said the only thing that counts is faith expressing itself in love. So I'm certainly not against doctrine, but I think we painted ourselves into a corner where a certain kind of system of beliefs has, again, given us a shortcut to a kind of moral superiority and moral complacency that is very destructive. And here would be a great example. By those traditional lists of doctrines, you could have a lot of people who are considered 100% orthodox because they have, for example, a doctrine of the inerrancy of Scripture, or the 5 points of Calvinism, or whatever it is. But they're still a racist. They still treat women as inferior. They still are incredibly selfish. They put the interests of their nation above the needs of the orphan and the widow. And nobody ever raises a question because we've defined the rules of the game to be simply say the right statements.
Now, for on a practical level, someone who has been raised, probably, in similar ways as you or I, that, they have this ingrained in them. If they want to read the Bible in this fresh context, what are like the practical ways that they can do that and free themselves from if they want to say, I want to take that filter off and put a new one on? Practically, what does that look like when you read the Bible?
Well, here's the irony, Jesse. I grew up memorizing Bible verses from before I could read. And I became a Pharisee of the Pharisees, you might say, in understanding the particular system of beliefs that I was raised with. I was raised with dispensationalism, and then later, as a young teenager, I was introduced to Pentecostalism, and I was later introduced to Calvinism, and I absorbed all of those theories, all of those systems, and I learned how to defend them with, great zeal. But when I was a pastor, I started noticing how much of the Bible didn't fit in very well with those systems. And I realized that there were huge parts of the Bible I just had to ignore, or even in a verse, I could pay attention to one sentence, but I would have to, or one phrase, but I'd have to ignore another phrase. And And this made me uncomfortable, and I created a certain suspicion in me that the Bible had more going on than any of my particular systems could accommodate. And so, what I would say for people who want to get a fresh perspective, a great way to start is trying to read the Bible with a little bit more innocence and a little bit more critical thinking. In other words, to read a text and say, not what have I been trained to look for in this text, but what are things that are there that I've been trained to ignore? Let me try to see it afresh. Let me try to see it with both innocent and critical eyes.
Well, one of the things too, and again, it's mentioned in the book, is reframing even the character of God, because, part of what, again, a lot of people have been taught that God is angry, and a lot of times we see him in the Bible, he's violent, and it's only because Jesus advocates for us that we aren't subjected to that same anger and judgment. What does reframing the character of God look like for someone making the spiritual migration?
Yes. Well, this is one of the most important questions, because if our only choice in today's world is a choice between a violent Christian understanding of God, or a violent Muslim understanding of God, or a violent Jewish understanding of God, in some ways, the differences in details are overwhelmed by the similarity in violence. But what's so fascinating for me is when we ask that questions about God and violence, and then we go back and look at Jesus, both his life and his teaching, and especially the meaning of his death, suddenly we realize that Jesus brings us better news than ever. Mm-hmm. And we realize that what Jesus reveals to us is a God who would rather suffer torture than torture others, a God who is willing to give God's own life rather than take lives in revenge. And so what I think this does is it makes us love and honor and respect Jesus more than ever before. And when we say that Christ is the image of the invisible God, quoting Paul in Colossians, then we say, oh, Jesus images the true heart and character of God, which is gracious and forgiving and welcoming the prodigal son home, so to speak. It's a very, and inviting all the wrong people to the table. This really gives us a different vision of God. Unfortunately, what a lot of our theology has done is we've reinterpreted Jesus so that he fits into old traditional, conventional ideas of God, when I think Jesus is actually doing something far more powerful. He's revolutionizing our understanding of the heart and character of God.
That was Brian McLaren. Make sure to check out his latest book, The Great Spiritual Migration. It's out now.
I'm never listening to Relevant again until next week.
Here's the deal. I'm not listening to Relevant till after Thanksgiving. That's it.
Yeah, your agenda has been pushed far enough. Listen to people I like.
Because they're just really upset about Young the Giant still.
Young the Giant.
That post-truth joke just didn't get enough attention.
Yeah.
That post-truth joke was underappreciated. I am done.
Why is XX not called 20?
Goodness. listening to Gunger. Dude, this song is amazing. The song is free. It's featuring my buddy William Matthews, and it's a deep track on their new album, Body. And it's like they go straight gospel. It's great. It's phenomenal. Love it. Gunger. Always surprising. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week's editorial question of the week. We got talking about the new Adobe software, which can replicate your voice. It's not out yet. They're working on it. And they're doing it for like podcasters and broadcasters where you can type things and it will adjust the audio files and it will be in your voice. And it's freaky. And we got thinking about the prank possibilities that this will open up. So we asked you, I mean, not just about audio pranks, because you can have Arnold Schwarzenegger call and say whatever you want because you can type it. But it got us thinking about just pranks in general. Jesse's known for having quite the illustrious prank history in college.
I have a beautiful mind when it comes to pranks. I just see, them playing out in my head like precognition. It's pretty special.
So we wanted to know from you guys what your best pranks were, whether it's pranks that you've done, have been done to you, or just ideas for the future. So you guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you also posted your ideas at the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here's a few of our favorites.
David had one that is just spectacular. It's using the Adobe software, which, as Cameron explained, will replicate your voice exactly. Like you can type it, and it'll create an audio version of that. So here's what David wanted to do. After you get a sufficient amount of audio from an unknowing friend that you can use in the software, call them using their own voice to tell them something like, "Quick, I don't have time to explain, but this is you from the future. Terrible things have happened, but you can change that now if you follow these exact instructions." And proceed to tell them a very embarrassing, oddly specific task to do. Hilarity ensues. David, that is brilliant.
That is brilliant.
I feel like
awesome.
you're on my level.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a big, just from one thing.
I congratulate him. That was very good. And I want him to actually do it and tell us about it.
That means he has to sign up for Adobe Creative Suite in 2017. And you just obligated him to several $100s a month, but
Well, that's how good this prank is. Addison had one that's a bit more lo-fi. This one doesn't require a subscription to Adobe Creative Suite. It all requires is some old shoes and Pringles cans. Here's how it works. Some friends of hers at college, their idea was to make it look like people were using the stalls all day long, so that whenever someone needed to use the bathroom, they couldn't because they were being occupied. They used old pair of shoes and Pringle cans to stuff them, and then I guess like pulled socks up, but scrunched pants all the way down to the ankles, locked it from the inside, and crawled out. So it worked for 48 straight hours. No one moved the shoes, and just I guess suspected someone was having some real trouble that day. So they had eaten dinner at Chandler's house and eaten some of his undercooked meats.
Undercooked steak.
Yeah.
Abby Bispo, who I'm going to use Abby's full name because I need to distance myself from this immediately, wrote, "Best prank, I once had a boss that was blind with an incredible sense of humor." Okay. Abby put in quotes. "And I hid multiple talking watches all around her office. I set alarms to go off all day at different times. It took her days to find them all. She thought it was funny. P.S. Not sure if there was a correlation, but I was laid off when we made sweeping budget cuts." So hilarious joke. Sorry about your job.
Yeah, hilarious. Abby. Yeah, actually, we're eliminating your position, I think.
Yeah. It's not you. It's layoffs. It's not you. It's just layoffs.
Yeah, it's not you. I mean, the economy. I mean, market change.
Yeah.
You just clean it.
No. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah.
No, it had nothing to do with that. But seriously, you need to get out of here right
back
now.
up your desk.
Adam said that in his senior year of high school, he spray painted the numbers 1, 2, and 4 on 3 chickens and let them loose on campus. The administration spent 2 days looking for number 3.
That's
number
incredible.
3's on the loose. We haven't found him yet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Gosh, that is such a great...
So it's not just the chickens being rounded
It's
up.
next level.
It's
It's
you
next
saying
level.
that there's a missing chicken. Oh my gosh.
We don't declare winners often.
Oh my gosh.
But that's really
That's
That's awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I like to think that Adam woke up in the middle of the night with that idea and immediately procured those chickens.
Oh my
I
goodness.
actually think that with that level of brilliance, it may have been some sort of like personal devotional time.
See,
It's
I
just
would have. I would have just done. I would have
I've
thought
heard.
that the chickens being loose was hilarious enough.
Let a
I would have
chicken
thought,
go, hilarious.
putting a number on them because like they're racing. That I could have seen that. But the idea that you put a missing number, I mean, that is
That's
just
genius.
That's as good
brilliant.
as it gets.
Yeah, it's like when they say how to like prevent someone who's like good at picking locks. Like if you have like 3 locks on your door and they're picking them from the outside, leave one unlocked, and they'll never be able to get in because they keep picking all the They keep accidentally locking one. It's the same principle. It's next level. It's a criminal mind at work, is what it is.
That's brilliant. I never even would have thought of that.
Yes.
There's
Great.
more feedback. You should join in, and I think you all should be inspired and
Absolutely.
try these, and they should spread around the country.
Yeah.
A movement, like an alt-right type movement.
Yeah.
A Brexit type movement of pranking
Yeah.
is the next generation's
Totally.
social statement. Okay, it's time for this week's.
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
Well, earlier we were talking about Thanksgiving. I mean, Chelsea has 17 of them. Chandler tries to poison his family. This year, I'm very excited about, by the way, my pomegranate glazed Brussels and sweet potato with bacon side dish.
That's a basketball player name too. Right, Jesse?
Yeah, sweet
Eddie,
potato
so
bacon.
Over that joke. Dude. You took something that a high-minded, sports-oriented audience would
You took
love.
something beautiful and you
ruined
destroyed it.
You ruined it.
Destroyed it.
I'm also excited about my autumn farro salad with warm apple cider dressing.
Oh,
I'm gonna have, and it's good.
nice.
And doing special honey butter for the rolls.
Honey butter, huh, Jess?
Honey butter, that'd be a nickname.
Hey, now.
Honey butter actually is kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But he has to be like a really smooth player. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Sweet and smooth.
honey butter.
Or just a real like a big baseball player, John Kruk type, like a real big guy.
Yeah, like
Old
Brian
honey
Big
But
Country.
life at the party,
Remember
he's
Brian
always
Big
got a
Country
smile on his
Reeves?
face.
You remember Big Country? He played for the Grizzlies. Okay,
Yeah.
and he looked like a human grizzly bear.
Perfect.
Well, he's from Oklahoma.
honey butter. That's right.
And he could
But
have been honey.
he
butter.
wasn't jovial enough. This guy has to be happy all the time.
Right. This has to be
Big
the
smile.
Winnie the Pooh of sports.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so it couldn't be like a Bill Winnington even. Like he's too lumberjacky.
Right. No. We haven't met Honey
What
Butter
about Big
yet.
Baby
Yeah.
Davis? Honey butter.
That's
Big Baby
perfect.
Davis.
Big Baby Davis is honey
It's
butter.
honey butter.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not the question of the week. The question of the week is we want to know.
That's how you make the joke, Jesse. Well done. See, now
Thank
you can
you.
see like that was actually funny. You did a great job.
it got us thinking about Thanksgiving memories and Thanksgiving traditions and whatnot. So we want to know your weirdest or craziest Thanksgiving stories. Hit us up on the Relevant Podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. And also you can tweet us at Relevant Podcast. We'll read our favorites next week, but this should be good because everybody's has to have some weird
Everybody's
things.
family's weird.
Everybody's family's weird.
Nobody just has a Norman Rockwell kind of situation.
No.
Yeah.
Even then, you can tell there's a little passive aggressive around the table.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah. That's what we want to hear. Really just let it out. Give us all the dirt.
give us all the dirt. Specific like mother-in-law names.
Yeah.
Do everything you got to do.
Thanks to our show sponsors for making this episode possible. Remember, you can get your year subscription today to video blocks and audio blocks for only $149 if you go to videoblocks.com/relevant. Also, thanks to ZipRecruiter. Right now, Relevant Podcast listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ziprecruiter.com/relevant. Thanks also to our guests for joining us. Young the Giant's new album is called Home of the Strange, and it's out now, and you can check out their feature on them in the current issue of Relevant. Also, thanks to Brian McLaren. His book, The Great Spiritual Migration, is out now as well. Hey, if you're online, head over to iTunes, and if you like the show, leave a review. If you don't like the show, don't. But if you like the show, leave a review. It helps us, helps people find the show.
Yeah.
And also head over to relevantmagazine.com and subscribe now to the magazine. We're working on a great January issue.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to go to the printer. The cover story is one of our Mount Rushmore cover stories. Not literally a story about Mount Rushmore, but one of those like...
A figurehead.
Like one of those people that we've wanted to talk to for a very, very long time, finally happened, and it was better than we had hoped.
I'm thrilled.
And they're coming out on the cover of the next
I'm looking
issue.
at it right now and I'm so excited.
It's pretty awesome. So yeah, go subscribe now. It's pretty good deals. And if you're looking for good Christmas gift ideas, we're running some pretty cool gift specials as well of giving relevant subscriptions over the next few weeks. So go check that out. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Eddie Post-Truth Koffoltz.
I'm Chelsea Steele.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
Isn't that neat how he just kind of adopted the nickname?
No problem. Post-Truth.
Yeah, well, you know what?
None of it's real.
It wasn't funny. I didn't laugh because
I know how to play basketball or
killed
something.
over and over again. So congratulations. Congratulations. A funny throwaway one-liner. Ruined.
Wizard Khalif Holtz. Yeah. You make one little mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. That's the thing. It was funny to a basketball audience. You didn't even know who Bill Winnington was, did you, Eddie? He played for the Bulls and he looked like a lumberjack. So that's why it's funny. I'm done explaining it to you.
We'll see you next week.
Control. I got that silver tongue. I got that silver tongue. Drives you into delirium. Got that silver tongue.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Connect with us on Twitter @RelevantPodcast and get bonus material from this episode and more at the podcast section on relevantmagazine.com. And don't forget to check the magazine out. It's available on newsstands and at the iTunes App Store, or you can subscribe online at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Clothes on the floor, but the bed's on the ceiling. Slurring my lines, but I'm nailing the meaning. I say what you want me to say, but talk only gets in the way.
Post-Truth is a great nickname.